Okay, we got the sun obscured by smoke and cloud at 7:50, May 21st. So I am looking at the sun without a problem, but being safe. I'm not staring at it for more than 1 or 2 seconds, but you can tell the glare is less for sure. And that's this effect of smoke in the west, which is that way. So the sun is setting in the northwest, that being north, that being west. So the sun is setting in the northwest. Alberta is that way, northwest. So the sun appears obscured by the smoke, consequently of producing that glare. It's still got too much glare, so I can't look at it as long as I want to, but interesting to pull out the Nikon if it gets heavier smoke. I'm going to zoom in more now. There's another look at the sun at the max zoom of my iPhone 12 Max Pro. It's definitely less bright. Anyway, I'm just going for a walk. Just looking at the sun with that massive sunspot. It's like it's gonna pass right in the center, which is great. I'm gonna zoom in. That's what I'm looking at. So 1 month from now, the sun will be in the solstice. As expected, sunspot. Look at that. It's a big sunspot too, and I'm filming the sun here on April 21st. It's obscured by smoke. I'm going for the max zoom on that sunspot. Look at that. Holy smokes. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna have to readjust, but I'm at the max on my Nikon. Look at that. I mean, that's just unreal. What we're looking at here is the sun, obviously, on May 21st. Just playing with the focus. Okay, I'm just letting the sun pass into the center area of the camera. And then I'll do a zoom. It's on autofocus right now. The reason why I can do this, film this, with no filter is due to the smoke in Alberta from the deliberately set fires by those filthy bastards who are destroying our planet. They want us to believe that one of those sunspots you could probably fit about 20,000 Earths in. We couldn't think of anything more stupid. The sun is close. The sun is small. We don't know what sunspots are yet. The reason it's shaking is wind. So I'm just going to pull back because it's at the max, but how about that? It's pretty spectacular. going to keep these clips relatively short for editing purposes and uploading purposes. But in about 10 minutes the sun will no longer be visible as it goes behind those trees. That was a bird, wow. So here's what I'm looking at with my eyeballs. As I go to the max, this is what I see. Now, those sunspots theoretically should apparently rotate as the moon apparently rotates, but it doesn't rotate, it's all perspective. Meaning someone viewing the same sunspots east of me, well, okay, I retract, I just want to say apparently the sun appears to rotate in a clockwise fashion, meaning it'll turn to the right. That's my theory. I haven't documented the sunspots on consecutive nights or consecutive hours to verify that, but that's my theory. Just as the moon rotates clockwise, I believe the same. Okay, so I've pulled back a bit so we can observe the sun. Again, this is no filter because I can clearly see the sun without an issue. I mean, this is amazing. I'm going to go for the max again once I got it centered. But just to quickly... This is awesome. Okay, I've switched over to autofocus on purpose because it's doing a better job than I can. Just let this play. Once I got it centered, okay, there you go. Put that. It's the max zoom. I'm west of Toronto, Canada by an hour. 8 p.m. 8:08 p.m. Hopefully the sunspot will go right through the middle of the focal point. Pulling out my iPhone now so I can double document this. Okay, so just looking at the sun with that massive sunspot. Looks like it's going to pass right in the center, which is great. I'm going to zoom in. That's what I'm looking at. So 1 month from now, the sun will be in the solstice. Look at that. Definitely not 93 million miles away, and it's definitely not a burning ball of gas. The sun is within our atmosphere, or the apparent sun. Whatever the sun is, we don't have a clue. It appears to change size and color due to two things, perspective and frequency. I'd like to understand more about frequency. but the apparent changes in size are always relative to the observer and color. So right now, someone observing the sun, let's say in Hawaii, will be looking at a smaller looking sun, where I'm looking at a larger looking sun, but it never changes size. It's just the perspective of the viewer. So I'm going to zoom back out. So a massive amount of sunspots tonight. Try to keep this clip relatively short. Not as spectacular as it was 10 minutes ago, and now there is some glare, ironically, so I can't zoom the way I want to. I'm glad I caught it when I did though. Wow, isn't that something? Now check out where the sun is setting in relation to the barn. May 21st, and on June 21st it'll set on the right side of the barn, which is, I've determined, half a barn length every month. How's that for an astronomical observation? Yeah, one last chance to zoom the sun at the max with no glare. Yeah, there is some glare. So glad I caught the sunspots when I did. As the sun goes away from me today. May 21st, 2023. 8:20 p.m. Okay, going in for one last zoom before the sun disappears behind the trees. Going for an observation of those amazing sunspots. Staring at the sun with my bare eyes. Just gonna go barefoot for a second here. How about that? Wow. I mean, this just keeps getting better and better.